Love and marriage go together like a horse and carriage.
Stan Guyver.
At the wedding party,
Okay, all right.
Viola. That was a nice idea.
And we start off our men's groups creating sacred space. And if there was ever a time to create sacred space, this is it. So I'm just going to do a brief introduction about the medicine wheel and creating sacred space. Calling in the directions is a ritual that acknowledges the love and support that we all experience every day from the unseen realm, the greater reality. As all rituals do, calling in the directions marks the beginning of sacred space. Marking sacred space puts us on notice that from here on, these proceedings are actively supported by the larger reality. Marking sacred space puts our brains on notice that something important, rare, and life-affirming is about to happen. More importantly, ritual is at its fundamental level a call for help and support from the Great Mystery, acknowledging that we want to actively partner with Spirit to rise above our limitations. In ritual space that's safe and sacred, it's easier for us to step beyond the demands of our ego agenda and do what needs to be done for the good of all. In ritual space, we understand that we have help from the Great Mystery to be the best of ourselves, to be the most kind, the most generous, and the most loving that we can be. And so with my brothers here, my menkind brothers, we're going to call in sacred space. At the end of each one, they'll say, aho, that essentially means amen. And so it is. Here and now, we mark this space and time as ritual space for the wedding of Anne and Ben, and ask the Great Mystery in all its forms to be a constant support and blessing for them in their new life together. Who will call in the East?
I will call in the directions of the East. We welcome the energy of the East, the direction of the lover. We welcome the energy of new beginnings, a connection with beauty and the richness of the world. The color of the East is yellow, the color of the rising sun at the beginning of the day. The fear of the East is the fear of pain. The desire of the East is the desire for pleasure, and the emotions are love and even hatred. The animal of the East is the song, sparrow, calling us to a new day. We welcome the energies and spirit of the East. Aho.
Aho.
I will welcome the energy of the South, the direction of the warrior. Welcome the energy of service, of action in the world, and service to the realm. The color of the South is red, the color of blood, and the color of passion, the color of the heat of the noonday sun. The fear of the South is the fear of losing control, while the desire of the South is the desire for power, and the emotions are pride and anger. The animal of the South is the dog, like Winston, Galt, Rourke. It's a symbol of loyalty. We welcome the energies and the spirit of the South. Ho!
We welcome the energy of the West to the direction of the magician over there somewhere. Welcome the energy of introspection, going within to find healings, the gifts of healing. The color of the West is black, like the darkness of our shadows. The desire of the West is the desire for order and virtue. The fear of the West is the fear of abandonment, and the emotions are happiness and shame. The animal of the West is the bear, who goes into the cave to hibernate, seeking within the darkness the gift of renewal. We welcome the energies and spirit of the West. Ho!
And especially today, we call in the energy of Anne's father, James Joseph Draddy. And we also call into the space the energy and spirit of George Aloysius Frederick, who designed this magnificent place. And we thank you all of our ancestors, for your love, support, wisdom, and courage. Aho.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, Uncle Jimmy. Good afternoon, and welcome to the celebration of the marriage of Anne Draddy and Ben Frederick III. I'd like to start this ceremony, or at least this part of it, off on a happy and joyous note. Let us offer a warm round of applause for Ben and Anne. I want to wish a warm welcome to everyone, to those who came from close by, and to those who made the trip from far away lands. On this glorious day, we are blessed with a celebration of life and love. I'm Jim Voshell, and on behalf of Vince Draddy, we are both honored and humbled to be the officiates for today's ceremony. Now, when I say welcome from far away lands, I'm going to try and get most of these, but I'm sure I could miss a few. But let's get started with South Africa, Lebanon, not Pennsylvania, California, Boston, New York, South Carolina, Michigan, Texas, Illinois, Ohio, Virginia, and of course Pasadena, Maryland. And from Colorado? Any others? Illinois. We got Illinois. All right, so talk about returning to the scene of the crime. On October the 15th, 2010, the Friends of Druid Hill Park had a celebration. I know this to be true because I've got the program. And it says that the Friends of Druid Hill Park presents Druid Hill Park's 150th Jewel Gala, celebrating Baltimore's extraordinary urban park in dance, music, and song, 1860 to 2010. Now, as it turns out, George Aloysius Frederick, I love the name Aloysius, a famous Baltimore architect from the late 1800s, is also a great uncle of Ben Frederick's, and is responsible for much of the architecture in many of Baltimore City's parks, as well as here at Druid Hill. So the Frederick clan, including Ben, decided to come to the gala to celebrate the 150th anniversary and their famous relative. Now, as it turns out, Anne Draddy was present at this affair as well, and she must have thought that Halloween had come early. According to sources, Anne was dressed to the hilt in a late 1800s era costume. As it turns out, Anne is very connected to Druid Hill Park as well. So much so that she co-authored a book appropriately entitled Druid Hill Park. I can tell you another thing about this book is that my wife Joan, who is Ben's sister, was there that night and got Anne to sign the book. So we've got Anne's signed book. Ben ended up with Anne and his soon-to-be wife. What a great night. I can tell you that I remember one of Ben and Anne's first dates. My band was playing at the Golden Triangle at the Golden Sports Bar in Ellicott City. And Ben and Anne came to see our performance. We had an unfortunate surprise in that our drummer became ill and could not continue through the evening. Many people may or may not know that Ben is a drummer. So Ben graciously agreed to finish out the evening 3 sets, probably plus, with Great Escape. Now, I'll tell you, Ben did a heck of a job that night. He had never rehearsed with us, and I was really impressed. But even to this day, I wonder if Anne was wondering, what is she getting herself into? So here's something to ponder. The coming together of the Dratty and Frederick families. One family from New York, the other from Baltimore. Talk about good Catholics. I'm not necessarily talking about mass attendance here, but massive families. There were 7 children in each family, and they all got married, so 14 spouses. Anne has 4 brothers and 2 sisters. Ben has 1 brother and 5 sisters. At last count, there were 18 grandchildren in each family. That's a total of 36. So, we are blessed to have our large, wonderful families come together for this beautiful celebration. We're very happy that all of you are able to attend, and we know that you will enjoy this great day. Welcome. And now, in the Catholic tradition, I would ask everyone who can to please join us in the Hail Mary. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Amen. When the risen Jesus first encountered his disciples, the apostles, for the very first time as they were together, huddled in a room, concerned about and fearful about their future and where it would lead, he said to them in comforting words, "Peace be unto you." So I say, peace be unto you. And now let us reach out to one another and offer each other a sign of peace.
Peace.
Hey.
I'll just give you a...
Thanks,
Fred.
Hi. I'm going to introduce the readings this afternoon. The first one, Touched by an Angel by Maya Angelou and read by Ella Gensheimer.
We, unaccustomed to courage, exiles from delight, live coiled in shells of loneliness until love leaves its high holy temple and comes into our sight to liberate us into life. Love arrives, and in its train come ecstasies, old memories of pleasure, ancient histories of pain. Yet if we are bold, love strikes away the chains of fear from our souls. We are weaned from our timidity in the flush of love's light. We dare be brave, and suddenly we see that love costs all we are and will ever be. Yet it is only love which sets us free. Thank you.
The next reading will be 1 Corinthians 13 from Katie Frank.
A reading from 1 Corinthians chapter 13. If I speak in tongues of mortals and of angels, but do not have love, I am a noisy gong or clanging cymbal. If I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith as to move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give away all my possessions and if I hand over my body so that I may boast, I do not have love. I gain nothing. Love is patient, love is kind, love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends.
Benedict Frederick III. Standing here with our family and friends, I declare my love for you. You are a thoughtful and loving man, filled with gratitude, qualities I cherish deeply. I love your kindness towards me and everyone you meet. I love and appreciate your openness and your flexibility, especially when I invite friends and friends of friends and children of friends and Tibetan monks to stay up on the third floor. I love your strength, your open heart, and your interest and willingness to do new things. I love that you support me in everything I do. We share the core values of love and service to others and embrace the importance of connecting with people. I commit to being your partner in cycling and to cooking your morning vegetable omelet. Most mornings. I commit to respecting you and caring for you and supporting you. Although where you see red, I see blue. I'm honored to be your partner in sharing our hopes and our dreams together. And as we build together a strong and healthy blended family by supporting and loving Katie and John and Rosie and Zoe and Ella and Angel and Dawn. I commit to loving you to the end of our days.
Oh. 7 years, 11 months, and 21 days ago, my life changed when I walked up to the mansion house in this very park and first laid eyes on you. I was captivated by your energy, your enthusiasm, your love of life, your playfulness, and your kind, loving heart. During these 2,913 days, I have come to know you, respect you, and love you. I love your passion, the way you always look out for the little guy, the way you see goodness in everybody and everything, including Republicans. You are Miss Positivity. I can handle you when you get a little bossy. I don't mind when you're a little messy, because I know that being present for you is more important. And when you forget to bring something along, I'm reminded how you don't sweat the small stuff, because having fun and caring about people is much more important. I admire your passion and diligence in composting and recycling. It's a reminder that your energy is grounded in Mother Earth. You have brought adventure and greater connections into my life. You inspire me to be my best, to help others, and to be a loving man in the world as your partner, as a son, as a father, as a brother, a cousin, a boss, a friend, and a businessman. This day, I promise to love you, honor you, and listen to you for the rest of our days together. I promise to support you in your passion and to support you in you living your mission. I promise to support and nurture your well-being, spiritually, physically, mentally, and emotionally. I promise to support you in loving and nurturing your children as today we expand and bring together our families so that our children and grandchildren, hopefully, and those that follow have a stronger foundation upon which to grow and flourish in this world.
Okay. So, Ben, you follow me. And now I, Benedict John Frederick III,
I, Benedict John Frederick III,
the son of Evelyn Frederick and Benedict John Frederick Jr.,
the son of Evelyn Frederick and Benedict John Frederick Jr., a perfect couple if there ever was one.
grandson of Benedict John Frederick Sr. and John Doyle,
grandson of Benedict John Frederick Sr. and John Burns Doyle,
great-great-nephew of George Aloysius Frederick,
great-great-nephew of George Aloysius Frederick.
Take you, Andrade,
I take you, Andrade,
to be my lawfully wedded wife from this day forward.
to be my lawfully wedded wife from this day forward.
To hold you and have you.
To hold you and to have you.
To honor you and to support you.
To honor you and to support you.
I place this ring on your finger as a sign of my devotion for you.
I place this ring on your finger as a sign of my devotion to you.
And my commitment to be with you.
And my commitment to be with you.
In good times and bad times.
In good times and bad times.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
In Democrat administrations and Republican administrations.
In Democrat administrations and Republican administrations.
For better or for worse.
For better or for worse.
To love you when you are at your worst as much as when you are at your best.
To love you when you are at your worst as much as when you are at your best.
For as long as we shall both live.
For as long as we shall both live.
We're going to not have quite the same relatives here.
We have an Aloysius.
I, Andrade,
I, Andrade,
take you to be my lawfully wedded husband
take you to be my lawfully wedded husband
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
to hold you and to have you,
to hold you and to have you,
to honor you and to support you.
to honor you and to support you.
I place this ring on your finger
I place this ring on your finger
as a sign of my devotion for you,
as a sign of my devotion for you
my commitment to be with you
and my commitment to be with you
in good times and bad times,
in good times and bad times,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health, in Republican and Democratic,
for better or for
for
worse,
better or for worse.
to love you when you are at your worst, Republican moment.
It's true.
As well as when you are at your best,
As well as when you are at your best,
looking out for the little guy,
looking out for the little guy.
for as
That's
long
me.
as we shall both live.
For as long as we both shall live.
By the power vested in us, we now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss.
Alright, we'll go first.
The family will be taking.
I thought they were polar opposites, not just politically, but in the way they navigate the world. So we talked about this a little bit earlier at the wedding, but Ben is a planner. My mom is a little more spontaneous. Ben is, 4 generations Baltimore? 3, 4? More? 4 generations Baltimore, and has lived within a couple mile radius his whole life. And
3/4 of a mile.
3/4 of a mile. And my mom is a New Yorker who, in her younger years traveled the globe, went all the way across to the other side to Tonga for Peace Corps. However, over the past 8 years, I've come to see their similarities because their relationship is based on strong support and deep love and respect. Ben, I think, is self-nicknamed Steady Eddie, and he really is that, and it's been great for my mom to have that level-headed consistency over the time. And he doesn't, someone said earlier, he doesn't sweat the small stuff. He also doesn't sweat the somewhat larger stuff. For example, when my mom was opening the car door to his Mercedes convertible on Cold Spring Lane, and a truck ran into it and ripped it off the hinges, she called him on the phone, maybe a little hesitant to let him know, and he simply responded, okay. And then the truck driver was standing next to her and was like, really? Like, that's his response to opening the door? He's a keeper. And I think my sister and I would agree the same thing based on how supportive Ben has been to both of us over all these years. He's truly there with anything we could ever need. It's amazing. And they also have a lot of fun together. They go on these bicycle trips across different states and countries, and they are always hosting a wide variety of different people, as we mentioned earlier, the monks. We also have, this summer we had a couple other folks. We have someone from Brazil, right? So they're in their home. They transformed the house into a home for a variety of people. When my mom first moved there was a rug in the kitchen because Ben had never cooked. The oven had never been used. He'd been there for a while. So they've been transforming their house into a place that's really special for all of us kids as well. We're all happy to be together.
Hello, for those of you who don't know me, I am Benedict John Frederick IV. Version 4.0, the upgraded and with all the bugs worked out, newer version of Benedict John Frederick III. I want to thank everyone for physically bringing yourselves here tonight and for metaphorically bringing Anne and my dad here by being a part of their lives. I've known my dad for 100% of my entire life, so I was really the only logical choice as best man. So in preparation for this, I Googled heartfelt best man speech. I found a website with a bunch of great examples, but I had to pay to see them, and I'm really cheap, so I'm just winging this. Anne and my dad told me there are some topics I should avoid, so... No. Definitely no. Alright, here we go. For those of you who know my dad and Anne, you know that my key is a plan. and Anne is a planter. My dad is a business owner. He's a doer. He's disciplined. He's driven. He's highly organized. And if you know Anne, you know that she works in the Baltimore City Sustainability Office, where she spearheaded the planting of 12,000 trees. Anne is more of a feeler. She's reflective, empathic, flexible, progressive. But it's not quite that black and white. You might not know that my dad is an artist. He's been a musician since 1968. He's a creator, literally creating his own business. You might know that Anne is just as driven as my dad, driven to help people all around the world, serving the Peace Corps in Tonga. They're both complex and they serve as foils to each other. They complement each other, and I believe they make each other better people. For example, my dad went to Paris in 1973 to Space Factory. The troop leader didn't let them go to the top of the Eiffel Tower because it was too expensive. And my dad, in his typical driven way, thought about that for the next 45 years. He promised himself he would one day go back and go to the top of the Eiffel Tower. He's a planner. Earlier this year, he organized a trip for me and my two sisters, Katie and Rosie, and Anne and her two daughters, Zoe and Ella, to go to France. Unbeknownst to us, it was all an elaborate ruse so that he could propose to Anne. So we go to the Eiffel Tower, and halfway up, at the cafe there, he stops, and in front of both of our families, he proposed. And we took the elevator down. We never got to the top of the Eiffel Tower. But he didn't care. He had Anne now, and that's all that mattered. Both Anne and my dad planted, raised families, and they brought them here today. I already had two sisters, Katie and Rosie, but getting two new ones that are also clear upgrades from the previous models is a great thing for me. Dad, you've been nothing but supportive of me my entire life, and I can say that I fully support you taking this next step. And I was really hoping to be the best looking person in the room tonight, but clearly I failed at that. I hope I did okay just winging it. I just really didn't want to pay attention. So, to the evening.
Get on with the evening. Everybody wants to dance and have a great time. But we have a tradition that dates, oh my God, I don't want to say how long ago. But as we joined the Frederick family, I'm sure the Dragons have something along these lines and probably don't too, but if not, maybe you can get started. We're called the Outlaws, and we have banded together. Yeah, we're outlaws. None of us are original Fredericks. That's why we all look so much alike. It takes a certain type. Anyway, as it turns out, now officially we have a new member. And we're proud and very happy to have Anne Draddy as our latest outlaw. So Anne, come on up. And I wish I could bestow some words of wisdom upon you that you haven't already heard, but I think you pretty much have gotten the picture by now. So, does anyone else have anything to say here? Yes? No? Okay. So, Joe?
I'm saying that don't always go with the flow. Don't be there for everything else. You're doing that already. You set your guidelines before you even came into the crowd, so it took me a while to figure out my rules. So anyway, welcome.
You're already doing it. We love you. Toast to Anne, newest outlaw.
May God bless this couple who married today. Oh, may God bless this couple who married today.